Spread love, man.
Because most of the times our minds have been fed so many negative things until we have to keep hammering away at the false concepts with the truth until our individual consciousness accepts the truth and we are set free. I say, whatever good you want, get full of the feeling. If you want to be healthy, and you don't have to be sick to pray the prayer for health, if you want to be healthy all of your days in this dimension, in your consciousness, in your own mind, entertain the thought, the belief, the feeling of health. Get full of the feeling of health, and that will keep you healthy. It will heal you if you're sick. If in your mind, your consciousness, you get full of the feeling of success and health.
All right, so today we're diving into, well, the world of Reverend Ike and this whole idea of prosperity gospel, and how to, like, manifest your desires.
Yeah.
And we've got this sermon excerpt, which is just, like, classic Reverend Ike.
Oh, it's fascinating stuff, really. Appealing, too, you know?
Oh, totally.
Especially for folks who are,
Struggling, yeah.
Yeah, facing hardship, looking for, like, a way to rise above their circumstances.
Exactly, and he really tapped into something, I think.
He did.
With this idea that you can kind of, like, will your dreams into existence.
It's that idea that you're not just a product of your environment. You have the power to shape your own reality.
Yeah.
And that was huge.
Huge, especially, you think about the historical context. Right?
Absolutely. I mean, particularly for Black communities at that time.
Yeah.
Striving for empowerment, facing, all sorts of systemic barriers.
Absolutely, and he, like, offered this message of hope,
Hope and agency. He was saying, you have the power within you.
And he walked the walk, too. It didn't come from privilege,
Not at all. Rose from poverty.
Yeah, bootstraps and all that.
Exactly. Became this incredibly influential figure.
Yeah, and it's like he embodied his own message, which I guess, made it all the more compelling.
Oh, absolutely. People could see it right there in front of them.
Right.
Living proof.
Exactly, and he had this way of, like, weaving these stories in.
Oh, he was a master storyteller.
Yeah.
Captivating speaker. Remember that one about the Rolls Royce?
Oh, yeah, the one where he's just a kid.
Yeah. Kid in South Carolina, sees this flashy car, and what does he do?
Doesn't just wish for it. He's like, I am that.
I am that. Bold, right?
So much confidence. Like, he already owned the darn thing.
Exactly. And that's key. It's not just about wishing.
It's about believing.
Believing it,
Yeah.
embodying it, feeling it as if it's already yours.
So there's, like, a mental component to it.
Oh, absolutely. It's about aligning your thoughts, your feelings, everything.
So it's deeper than just, like, positive thinking.
Much deeper. It's about shifting your entire mindset.
Okay, so how does that actually work?
Well, it's interesting. There are actually some parallels in psychology.
Really?
Yeah. You've heard of athletes using visualization techniques, right?
Oh, yeah, like picturing themselves winning the big game.
Exactly. And studies have shown it can actually improve performance.
Wow, so there's something to this whole visualization thing.
There's definitely something there. It ties into this concept called the law of attraction.
Okay, I've heard of that, but I'm not sure I totally get it.
Basically, it suggests that by focusing on positive outcomes,
Okay.
you can actually influence your actions and the opportunities that come your way.
So, like, if you believe something will happen, you're more likely to make it happen.
In a way, yes. It's not magic, of course.
Right.
But it's about creating that internal state of alignment with your goals.
Interesting. So it's not just wishful thinking. It's more about...
It's about creating a self-fulfilling prophecy, in a sense.
Wow. Okay. So how does Reverend Ike tie into all of this?
Well, he was a master at tapping into this power of belief and visualization.
Right, right. And he didn't shy away from the big stuff either, did he?
Not at all. Cars, houses, success in all areas of life. He went there.
It's inspiring in a way.
It is, isn't it? That message of empowerment. That you can achieve anything you set your mind to.
All right, so we're about to dive deeper into Reverend Ike's teachings and how he used this idea of visualization to help people manifest their desires. But first, a quick break. So we're back and, like, really digging into this whole visualization thing with Reverend Ike.
Yeah, he had a way of, like, making it practical.
Right, like it wasn't just this vague, like, think good thoughts kind of thing.
No, not at all. He gave people specific techniques to use.
Right. Like in the sermon, he talks about like not just seeing yourself with a new car.
Yeah, he's like, get in the car, feel the leather seats, smell that new car smell.
It's so vivid.
It's about engaging all your senses, making it real in your mind's eye.
And he uses that same kind of imagery for everything, right?
Oh yeah, whether it's a new house, a better job, even a scholarship.
So, okay, I get the visualization part, but is it really that simple? Like if I just visualize a giant pile of donuts, will it magically appear on my desk?
Well, I wouldn't go that far. It's not exactly magic.
Right.
It's more about understanding how our minds influence our reality.
Okay, so how does that work?
Well, think about it this way. When you truly believe in something, when you have that deep-seated conviction, it changes your actions, right?
Yeah, like if you believe you're going to ace that job interview,
Exactly. You walk in with a different energy.
you're more confident, more prepared maybe.
You're more likely to make a good impression, to nail those tough questions.
So it's like your belief becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy.
In a way, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Reverend Ike was tapping into with this emphasis on feeling.
Okay, so it's not just about thinking positive thoughts, it's about feeling them.
Exactly. It's about embodying that desired reality, feeling it in your bones.
Wow, okay. So he's like rewiring your brain to expect success.
In a sense, yes. And when you expect success, you're more likely to take the actions that lead to it.
That makes sense. But there's got to be more to it, right? Like, what about all the external factors that are out of our control?
Of course, of course. It's not about denying the existence of challenges or obstacles.
Yeah.
It's about cultivating an internal state of resilience, of knowing that you have the power to overcome those challenges.
Okay, that makes sense. But what about, like, the ethical side of all this? I mean, some people criticize prosperity gospel for, like, promoting materialism or placing blame on those who haven't achieved success.
Yeah, those are valid concerns, and it's important to approach any philosophy or belief system with a critical eye.
Right, like no one's saying Reverend Ike had all the answers.
Exactly.
Mhm.
But at the core of his message, I think there's a valuable takeaway about the power of belief and the importance of cultivating a positive self-image.
Yeah, and I think that's something we can all get behind, regardless of our background or beliefs.
Absolutely. It's about recognizing the power we have within ourselves to shape our own realities.
All right, so we've talked about the power of visualization, but Reverend Ike didn't just pull this out of thin air, right? Like this idea of the mind influencing reality has been around for centuries.
Oh, absolutely. It pops up in various forms across different cultures and throughout history.
So, like, where else do we see this idea?
Well, one of the most ancient examples is meditation.
Meditation.
Yeah,
Really?
for centuries, people have been using meditation to cultivate inner peace, to connect with something larger than themselves.
And that ties into visualization.
Absolutely. Many forms of meditation involve focusing your mind on specific images or sensations.
Huh. I never thought about it like that.
Yeah, it's about training your mind to focus, to quiet those racing thoughts, and to cultivate a sense of clarity and purpose.
And that's something that, like, anyone can do, right? You don't have to be a monk on a mountaintop to meditate.
Exactly. It's a practice, just like anything else.
Yeah.
And the more you do it, the easier it becomes to tap into that quiet space within.
So we've got Reverend Ike talking about visualizing your dream life, athletes using it to improve their performance, and ancient meditation practices all tapping into this idea of the mind's power. It's pretty amazing when you think about it.
It is, isn't it? It makes you wonder what else we might be capable of achieving if we could truly harness the power of our minds.
Exactly. And I think that's a great place to, like, transition into the next part of our discussion, which is all about the practical applications of this stuff. So we've been, like, really diving deep into this whole mind over matter thing.
Yeah, it's fascinating stuff, isn't it?
Totally. But I keep coming back to this question of, like, how much of it is, actually in our control.
Right.
Like, I get the visualization, the feeling, all that, but life throws curveballs,
Oh, absolutely. It's not about pretending that challenges don't exist.
Right, because they definitely do.
It's more about recognizing that we have a choice in how we respond to those challenges.
Okay, so it's not about denying reality. It's about, like, shaping our experience of it.
Exactly. And that's where this whole idea of mindset comes in.
Mindset. Okay, so, like, if you believe you can overcome something, you're more likely to, like, actually take the steps to make it happen.
Exactly. It's about cultivating that inner resilience, that belief in your own ability to navigate whatever life throws your way.
So it's not just about manifesting material things. It's about, like, manifesting a certain attitude, a certain approach to life.
I think that's a great way to put it. It's about creating a life that feels aligned with your values, your goals, your aspirations.
And that takes work, right? It's not just going to magically happen overnight.
Right. It's an ongoing process. It's about making conscious choices day after day that move you closer to the life you envision for yourself.
It's like that quote, the only way to do great work is to love what you do. And I think that applies here too, right? Like you got to be passionate about the life you're creating, the vision you're holding in your mind.
Absolutely. Passion fuels action. And action, combined with belief, can be incredibly powerful.
It's like Reverend Ike always said, you've got to see it to be it. And I think we've seen how that idea, while maybe dressed up a little differently, pops up across different cultures, different time periods.
Yeah, it's a timeless principle, really, that the power of our minds, our beliefs, our imaginations can shape our reality in profound ways.
It's a lot to wrap your head around, that's for sure.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it's also incredibly empowering, don't you think?
Totally. It's like if we can really grasp this idea, if we can truly step into that power, the possibilities are kind of endless.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that we're not just passive bystanders in our own lives. We have the power to choose, to create, to manifest the reality we desire.
Well said. Well, folks, that's about all the time we have for today's deep dive. We've covered a lot of ground, from the ins and outs of prosperity gospel to the power of visualization and the importance of cultivating a resilient mindset.
It's been a fascinating journey exploring these ideas and how they intersect with everything from ancient wisdom traditions to modern psychology.
Absolutely. And as we wrap up, we want to leave you with this thought. What if you truly believed in your own power to create the life of your dreams? What would that look like? What would you do differently?
Hold on to that vision, nurture it, and most importantly, take that first step towards making it a reality.
Thanks for joining us for another deep dive. Special thanks to Miss Spread Love Movement.